Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wedding Team Collective. My name is Catherine, and this is MJ with Rock Paper Bloom. Welcome, MJ.
Thank you, Catherine, for having me. I'm so excited to be part of your team.
Absolutely. So, we are so excited to have you. I feel like Rock Paper Bloom is such a wonderful company that offers such a unique backdrop to anybody's event. And so we will dive right in. So, I wanted to know a little bit about yourself and how you ended up getting into making beautiful paper art.
Yes, so we started the photo booth business in 2011. So that's really where we started from. And then a lot of other photo booth companies came into the picture. And so I've always been very crafty, so I wanted to really step it up and make a specific niche in the market where we're the only ones who offer a paper flower backdrop that comes with a photo booth as well. So that's really where it started. And the very first flower wall that we made was only like 4 feet wide. And when we brought it to a bridal show, one of the ladies there said, "You've got to make it wider. You've got to make it wider. It has to be at least 8 feet." And I'm like, okay, so we did this for a month. So that's another month of paper flower making.
Right.
But yeah, but from then on, we just got bigger. And yeah, thanks to that lady who told me to make it bigger.
Honesty is the best policy. Let people know what you
Yeah.
want. Yeah, I agree. Well, that's awesome. I feel like it is such a special part of the market and it makes such a special impact on people's day. So, on the slide that we have here, we're talking about the different products that you use to make because I will go through the wider range of options that you have. But I know that we were kind of talking about what the styles were. And originally, as you said, with that one backdrop, it sort of started as a romantic garden style. But recently, I think trends have changed. So, what are some of the new things that you're seeing in the trends coming up?
Yes, so what I'm seeing right now is more of a photo setup, not just the backdrop for your photo area, but it's really more of creating a scene. So if you're going for a garden theme, the flower wall would be one part of it, and then we have these freestanding flowers that are like life size or bigger than life size that can go on one side, and then one of those velvet like elegant looking chairs that makes
Oh,
you feel like royal just by sitting on it. They
yeah.
have that, and then they have this full, yeah, they have this full light on setup
Oh,
that
perfect.
gives you that feel that you're in a mobile studio, and there's this photographer. We have so many great photographers here in Las Vegas. Kristen is one of my favorites. I believe she's part of the collective.
Yeah.
Um, and so, yeah, that's something that we can definitely collaborate with the bride and the groom and their video and photo team and come up with a scene that's really in tune with the motif or the theme of the wedding.
Perfect. Yeah. And that's what's so great is that it has so much movement, so many opportunities. It's not used in just one place. It can really be throughout your entire event. And then some of the
Yeah.
materials you use, obviously for the main original papers, flowers, it was the heavy cardstock. But then I know you use crepe paper. So can you explain the difference a little bit between the two?
Absolutely. So we really started out using cardstock paper, like the 65 pound and up. And then I started venturing into crepe paper only because crepe paper gives us so much more flexibility and it allows us to curve the paper um, far more than we can on cardstock. So I like making peonies with crepe paper and then roses for cardstock. So different papers give you different um, feel and impact when it comes to curling and just that lifelike feel that you want when it comes to paper flowers.
That's really awesome. I love that there's so much you can do with paper. I feel like paper gets a bad rap for not being able to maneuver. And I know you've recently dipped into fabric too for different applications. So that's really wonderful. Um,
Thank
I wanted to talk about obviously where it all started, which was the paper flower wall. So I know you have 3 different walls in inventory, and those can be rented out. So wanted to know kind of how those look. Obviously, I have some examples on the screen,
you.
and then some customization that can be done to those specifically.
Yes. So the one right behind me is one of our inventory walls. Initially, we made this specifically for Giada. She was launching her rosé line of wine. Is that called wine?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not a wine drinker. I'm more
Okay.
of tequila girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she had a specific rosé color that she wanted us to use, and so we did that. But then I have this bride on Saturday. She wanted Giada's wall, but she wanted us to incorporate some gold into it. So hence these gold paper flowers that we had to incorporate into the wall. And that's something that they can do with the inventory walls that we have. We have the marsala red, the all white, and then this one right here. The white, you can let us know what colors are in your motif or in your wedding, and then we'll pop in some of those colors for you. And I believe we have that in some of our examples.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love the fact that there's a way to sort of, customize, but still use something that's already there. So you're not starting completely from scratch if you already love one of the options that are available. So I really love that. And then I know, so the pricing on those starts at $12.50, but you are offering a show
Yes.
special to our viewers, which is wonderful. So what is that for our viewers?
Yes. So for your viewers, for our viewers, for today until the week coming up, we are offering our inventory walls for $9.50,
Wow.
which is really a big discount that we're extending to all of you. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. And that
That's
already
awesome.
includes deliveries, up and tear down. Absolutely.
Oh, perfect. See, that was going to be a question. How much is that? So it's all included, which is amazing. Um, and yeah, you can set this up to be, if they already have a photo booth, if they want it to be the backdrop for that photo booth, or if they want to use it for anywhere else in their space, we can absolutely do that. That's fabulous. And then one of my favorites is the custom. I like to say, let your imagination bloom, because there's so much to choose from. When deciding about a custom option when it comes to paper flower walls. So what are some of the things that you've seen that people have kind of adjusted to make the flower walls themselves, like more detailed?
Yes, so aside from including some of your colors in there, we've also seen where the flower walls get some balloons set up on the side, so that makes for a really nice contrast in texture. Um, and then, of course, we had some clients where they had the freestanding flowers on both sides or on one side, depending on where they want to place the chair or the chase.
Mhm.
What else? I believe, yeah, those are pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's great is that depending on what they have in mind, you can absolutely work with them to recreate that. You are a genius, much
Oh,
minded craziness of
I
an
try.
artist. So I love it. So those options are available for them if someone wanted to reach out directly to get a custom piece done for their event day. And what's nice is if they work with you on custom, maybe that's something that they could not only include at their, bridal shower, but also included at the wedding or different options like that. So there's really a lot of options for them, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so these are some great examples of some of the custom options that you guys have done. So obviously here we see different ones that are for some of our local commercial customers. But as you can see on that one wall, those pops of gold that get added in, or the backdrop for the photo booth. But tell me a little bit more about the art.
Sorry, the arch?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So yes, so that arch, they can definitely use that as a ceremony backdrop. They can also use that as a sweetheart table backdrop. That way, it anchors them in the space. It draws everyone's eyes to them. And right now, we have it in cream with accents of blush pink on it. We
Mhm.
can definitely change those colors for you, and those accent colors. We can even double up that arch, make it two layers of peonies, roses. And so, yeah, what we really love doing is we collaborate very much with our bride and groom, and they let us know what their visions are. And then we really take our time to understand it. We ask for inspirations from them. And then from there, we give them some of our inputs as well based on the theme that they've given us.
Perfect. So another option that our guests have is personal floral. So
Mhm.
bouquets, boutonnieres, corsages. What are some of the different trends that you're seeing with those, and what are some of the great options that come along with personal floral?
Yes. So I'm seeing a lot of the gathered look in florals, and what's really great about paper flowers is it's something that you can really hold on to and put it in a vase and just store it forever because it will not wilt or it will not die. A lot of people tell us that, but it doesn't smell as good as real flowers, and I totally agree with them. But
True.
there's such a thing called as perfume.
Exactly,
We've
and a
done
lot of
for
people
a
get that.
client, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
and one of our clients, she wanted our peonies to smell more like peonies, not just paper.
Yeah.
So I am so into Joe Malone
Oh,
and
me
their
too. I
peony and
love them.
blush, right?
Yeah.
Peony and blush cologne that they have. We just sprayed it on there, and
Perfect.
yeah, it does come close to the real peonies that we have out there. And of course, we have all different kinds of perfumes that we can. I'm investing on those for them.
Well, that's fabulous. I feel like, yeah, an experience, especially if they're having, these photos, but then later, if they have in the space or they're doing different things, it's so nice to have that beautiful additional scent um, on any of the items that they have. So that's wonderful. The corsages and boutonnieres, those can be used for if they wanted not only, for wedding party, but it can also be for family members as well. Nothing is more special than mom and grandma having a corsage to keep forever from the wedding.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yes. And we even have the photo that we have there of Jana and
Mhm.
her bridesmaids. She wanted to make sure that her bridesmaids have a remembrance from the wedding that will last them a really long time. So we have those oversized magnolias for them.
I love that. Those are so beautiful. Um, So
Yeah.
another option is the 3D guest books, which I think are one of the coolest things. I've never seen anything like it before, and I feel like it's such an amazing item to hold on to after the day. So tell us a little bit about how those work and then how they come to be something forever.
Yes, of course. So those guest books, we make them available depending again on the color scheme of the bride and groom. The very popular shape that we have is the heart, but we've also done a couple of other shapes like we call it the tree of life, where it's really a big circle, and then towards the bottom we add those really big branches or oh my gosh, I forgot my biology now. What do you call that big,
Roots,
the trunk?
roots. Oh, I'm not great
So
at
yeah,
biology either. Don't worry.
um, yes, and then we add their names towards the bottom and the date of their wedding, which makes it really personal for them. We've also used it for bridal showers, baby showers, birthdays. Um, so yeah, we've done those. Um, and it's just a cool way for your guests to not just put in their names, but to leave you a sweet message. You know how you have those white address books?
Yeah.
Um, And those they can't really use after the wedding other than, sending them a thank you note. But this is really something that they can put up on their wall, and it's a real artwork. It takes
Yeah.
about, for me to cut the petals for that, it takes about 2 days
Okay.
to just work on one. So a lot
Yeah.
of time and a lot of love really goes into each one of them.
Perfect. Well, I love that that turns something that usually just gets, you know, kind of brushed over after the event into something they'll be able to hold on to forever and have those beautiful memories. And I love handwriting, so I love that people's handwriting is also included on that. So you offer a couple different sizes based on the number of guests, based on how many petals you'll need to use. So
Hmm.
they range from the 12 by 12 and the 20 by 20. But if for any reason you need custom sizing, of course, you can work with our couples to make sure we have something to perfectly fit their event. And you can work in special sizing. The website has different designs as well. So the pricing with those starts at 195 and then kind of adjusts, I think, based on the size that you get.
Yes, that's right.
So
Thank you.
the next one, giant paper flowers, which are some of my favorites, which we had discussed a little bit earlier. But I love the fact that you can just feel like you're in a wonderland of flowers. So tell me about a couple of these larger giant flowers.
Yes, so we have started offering those because I'm like, okay, some people would really want something that's more Alice in Wonderland type of thing. So we
Mhm.
ventured into that. We started with one, and then we can go with clusters depending again on the scene that you wanted to create for your wedding. It's a really nice area to welcome your guests. I had one of my clients line up 6 foot tulips going to the
Wow,
cocktail area. So it's a really
cool.
nice way to direct them to wherever you want them. We also had a client who wanted us to line up um, her ceremony aisle with
Fun.
freestanding flowers, and then right where they're having their ceremony, some some garden like setup there with again those freestanding paper flowers, so which is really great.
Awesome. So I love that. I feel like it makes such a statement. It's so beautiful for the space. Um, so, couple questions. So, one question that we had pre-submitted was, how long does the setup take? So, when someone were to get, let's say, for a paper flower wall, how long would it take for them to set up the actual um, set backdrop?
So it usually takes us about 45 minutes to an hour to set up the wall. Our goal has always been that everything is all set up for you before your guests come in, especially those guests who really want to take a peek or are so excited to be the first ones to see the reception area. So yeah,
Yeah,
so we close. We work very closely with your coordinator or the wedding planner that you have for that day, and make sure we are in sync with their timeline in terms of setup.
perfect.
And we're very conscious about that. Yeah.
Perfect. So I know that sometimes people want to use, let's say, the backdrop for a ceremony and then a backdrop for the reception. Is there a way to be able to move those during the event? And does that cost additional to do so?
Yes, we are actually doing that for a wedding this Saturday
Oh,
at Emeralds at Queensbridge. They have a really nice outdoor space. So, as the guests come in for the ceremony, they wanted an area for the guests to take pictures with. So, we're doing that outside. And then, as the guests make their transition towards the reception, um, right after the ceremony, we will also be taking that same wall and set it up as the couple sweetheart table backdrop. So that's
oh,
something that we
beautiful.
definitely can do for them. And yes, there is some additional cost to it, um, but that's something that's really minimal,
Okay.
depending on the venue and depending on the proximity of where it's going to come from,
Yeah,
because there's also the timing that we need. Um, we at least need an hour to transition that wall, especially because we want to make sure it's anchored securely. It's not going to fall on
right.
anybody, and yeah, we wanted to make sure. I know that an hour may seem a lot, but usually we do it during cocktail hour. That way the guests are busy mingling, all that. So we have that time to make sure that the wall is set up the right way.
Makes total sense. I know that when someone gets something like that, they want to just use it in multiple places, and it's such a beautiful way to add so much to the space and it not be, not too much to overwhelm. It's just a focal point to really be beautiful with those walls. And I know with the larger giant flowers, you would be able to move those as well, depending on the space.
Yeah, because we
I
understand that they're making an investment in us, and we want to make sure that they're making full use of their investment.
Yes, I've always thought how beautiful it would be to have those giant tulips surrounding the dance floor. So I hope I hope to have a wedding like that myself coming up
Yay!
to see one with something to make it feel like you're walking into a special place on that dance floor. So
Yeah,
be
well, I
beautiful.
think you know someone who can make that happen for
I
you,
do,
Catherine.
right? So I wanted to say thank you so much. This has been a
Oh, thank
wonderful
you.
experience for our guests. We really appreciate you taking the time today. And as before, you're offering that beautiful special for our viewers, and then they can visit your website, which is rockpaperbloom.com, and they'll be able to contact you directly, see some more examples of your work. And then if they just mention the Wedding Team Collective event, then for the discount, then you'll be able to work with them on getting that all set. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much,
Thank
MJ. I really appreciate it.
thank you so much for having us, and have a wonderful
Wonderful.
day and the rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you too. Bye bye.